Alright guys, so today is currently February 20th, 2025, and today I took a setup in London session which ended up playing out in New York session. So yeah, let's just get straight to the trade recap. So here on the hourly time frame, we have an hourly sweep. At this point, I'm looking for price to continue lower to these lows down here, and I use that as my draw of liquidity. Now, yes, it does seem pretty far from, this high to this low here, but today we had high impact news, which was actually, I think, unemployment claims. So when we have high impact news, price movement like this doesn't really seem unfathomable, right? It seemed doable, basically. And yeah, right over here, we have an hourly fair value gap, which is the fair value gap that I use to take my entry off of. So let's go straight to the 15-minute. As you can see right here, we have a change of character, and I drew a fib from the bottom to the top right here. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I think price will most likely continue lower. Here we have the hourly fair value gap. Our entry was at the bottom of it right here. We definitely could have gotten a better entry, because usually I'd like to leave it to the top of the fair value gap. Like along with that, we could have also waited for price to hit equilibrium, if not even a little bit above, to reduce the risk. And yeah, I mean, we were actually very close to getting stopped out, but luckily we did not. So I believe it was right here. This was like basically right before market open, or basically market open, right? We almost got stopped out, but because we were in the futures market, we did not get slipped. Luckily, if we were in the forex market, I probably would have been stopped out, and then price would have just ran without me, which would have sucked, but luckily we're in futures. So yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, during London session, when I was looking at this trade setup, my stop loss was actually all the way down here, and I was risking 3 contracts. But because I decided to leave this overnight, I actually reduced my contract size to 2 contracts, and I moved my stop loss higher just to give it more leeway in case price does go up, which was a good thing that I did do that, because we would have gotten stopped out, right? But I reduced the contract size to reduce risk, and then essentially just moving our stop loss higher, and it played out. Price went all the way down, like straight to our TP, which was pretty nice. Yeah, there's not too much to say about this trade. I mean, took the setup in London and it played out in New York. So yeah, I'll just quickly show you guys my Top Step account. As you can see here, we're currently in profit 332.52 cents on the day. This is our trading history, right? We only risked 2 contracts, and honestly, I thought that was a overall pretty clean trade. We stayed disciplined. We didn't market enter, and we followed and executed our strategy, and it played out. This is like the optimal feeling, right? It's like you followed your strategy. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose, right? Doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you followed your strategy. And honestly, you see that side duck right there? My girlfriend got that for me, and I've been just like mentally, I guess, identifying the side duck with psychology, right? And every time I look at the side duck, or every time I feel emotional, I look at the side duck and I'm just like, yo, I can't disrespect the side duck like that, because it's just doing this, and I don't know, I just find it kind of funny. But so far it's helping a lot. It's helping quite a bit. And yeah, I mean, it's what I needed. You got to do what you got to do to stay disciplined. But so far, right now, like, I feel great, because honestly, it just comes down to being disciplined, following your rules. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, that's it for this trade. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, I actually also forgot to mention, I took a trade on February 18th, which resulted in a win, but it was kind of an accidental trade, in the sense that I had these set up in London session, but once London session passed, I decided to just close the limit order, which is what I thought I did, but it turns out I actually didn't. So when I woke up, I just woke up to a profit, and I was shocked. I was like, I don't even remember taking a trade, but I realized that I just never closed my limit order. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly do a trade recap on that one. Basically, our time frame, we have hourly sweeps. At this point, I'm looking for price to continue lower, right? I'm just gonna go straight to the 1 minute because that's where majority of the analysis was. As you can see, we had lows here. We broke structure lower, or we displaced lower, change of character, and there was a fair value gap creation up here. And the top of the fair value gap was where I decided to set my limit entry, right? And our take profit was at the bottom of this fair value gap right here. So as you could see, I left my limit order on and price was just, going back and forth during London session. And once New York session opened, basically we got entered into the trade and price just dumped and went straight to TP. So kind of similar to what happened today. And again, we were very close to getting stopped out, but it played out and we definitely managed risk on this one. Our profit was like, I think 173 right over here, 178. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that trade. And on top of that trade that we took during London session, we also took another trade during the New York session. We only risked one contract, so it wasn't too much, but basically the whole idea behind it was we were already past equilibrium, right, on the 1 hour time frame. We started to retrace into this 4 hour fair value gap. And sorry, let me just get rid of this. And when I saw price rejecting off the 4 hour fair value gap, that's when I decided to take my entry. And yeah, I mean, our entry was at the low right here. We just had a limit order for one contract. I was aiming to take profit up here, right? But I just wanted to, I didn't want to really sit in the trade anymore. And I just kind of just market closed it for $90, right? And obviously, when price did go higher, I reduced my risk. And yeah, I mean, not too much to say about that one. We had rejection off 4 hour fair value gap. We already passed equilibrium, so I was looking for some kind of retracement. We have buy side liquidity generating here, and yeah, I felt confident in taking a buy here. Regardless, if I hadn't taken profit early up here, I would have moved my stops to break even, which would have resulted in break even. So yeah, I mean, not too much to say about this one. I just didn't want to miss anything, right? Because I'm showing you guys my trade history, and for these two small trades here, markets was just moving hella slowly. So I decided to, the second I entered, I sat there for the longest time and price didn't move, and I just, yeah. I didn't market enter on those. Those were all limit orders. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright guys, so today's currently February 21st, 2025, and this morning during the London session, I took a long position, which resulted in a win. So yeah, let's just get straight to this trade recap. So on the hourly time frame, we marked out the 2am high and the 2am low. Our drawn liquidity was actually this high up here, and this 15-minute fair value gap. Another thing that we did mark out was this hourly fair value gap right here, and as you can see, price never actually closed below it, right? It actually rejected off of it. So at this point, I was looking for price to continue higher. And let's just go straight to the 1 minute. So initially what my trade idea was for price to continue lower. I set my limit order at this fair value gap right here, and I put my stop loss a little bit above the high, and I was targeting this low right over here. As you can see, we never actually got entered into this trade. So at this point, I was like, you know what? I was gonna call it a day because we missed our ideal entry. But then I was thinking to myself, there is high impact news later on in the day. And basically from personal experience, what I noticed is that during London, price would continue lower, and then on the way to New York, price would just build up higher, right? So I guess during London session is essentially the liquidity sweep for price to continue higher. So at this point, I was looking to take short positions in the shorter time frame or shorter period, but overall I was looking to go higher, right? And once we took out this low, that's when I decided, like, okay, I think price will continue higher. We also rejected off the hourly fair value gap, and we were targeting the 2M highs right here. And at the time, I saw this as resting buy side, and all of this as resting buy side, right? Along with that, looking for high impact news to take out that buy side. And basically on the 1 minute, we had a swing. So for this, I didn't actually have a break of structure higher, right? I just got displacement, and then there was a fair value gap that got created here. And I took my entry off of the fair value gap. But basically, after I saw this as a sweep, I just decided to take the long here. So we still did do limit orders. We let price come to us. We did not market enter. Not gonna lie, I was feeling a little nervous when price came all the way down here, but you know what? It did end up playing out, and in fact, it went a lot higher. So yeah, I'll show you guys my Top Step account. We're currently up $231.78 on the day. We took 3 contracts along during the London session, and yeah, I mean, I'll show you guys where price is at now. Price went all the way up to take out this high, and yeah, when New York opened, price just dumped. So honestly, pretty decent trade in my opinion for the most part. I think I could have definitely followed my strategy a little bit more, but you know, I had the sweep of liquidity, higher time frame draw on liquidity. Our entry was, you know, we got displacement and then took our limit entry into the bottom of the 1 minute fair value gap. So yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm pretty happy with how this trade played out. And throughout this whole trade, I was pretty disciplined. Honestly, there was a point in time where I probably would have market entered here somewhere. But I'm really, like, as for this week and hopefully moving forward, like, we can really improve it on our psychology. But yeah, that'll pretty much be it for this trade. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And there's also a link in the description below for a free Discord server. I look forward to seeing you guys there. And yeah, I guess a couple of things I wanted to say before I end off this video is that this week has been one of the better weeks that I've had in a while. And a huge part of that comes from, you know, staying disciplined and executing my strategy, and overall having a good psychology, right? And by that, I just mean, like, not emotionally trading, gambling, and all of that. And a big part that really helped was making that contract and reading it and then signing it before taking any trade, right? And along with that, just also associating psychology with the side duck right over there. That's why I just keep it there, because anytime I kind of feel emotional while trading, I'll either, like, look at the side duck or just read my rules or the contract, right? And overall, like, I was very focused on the process versus the outcome, right? Because at the beginning of the week, my account was basically, like, I was $200 away from hitting my max loss limit, right? And we ended off this week back up to a buffer of basically 1,000. And it's been a while since I've been up on the week, right? So overall, this week was pretty great. Pretty great. Like, the wins feel a lot better, especially because throughout taking these trades, I was disciplined, followed the strategy, executed, you know. I wasn't risking too much because obviously I didn't have much to risk, right? Otherwise, I'd lose my account. But yeah, I mean, I want to keep this momentum going, you know. It feels really good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. For those of you guys who are on the same journey as me, just keep going. And I guess from personal experience, once you have the strategy, the rest is psychology, in my opinion. Right? I didn't think that was real, but it hit me hard. So yeah, just keep going, guys. You got this. Anyways, peace.